always should mix the material so we get a good consistency out of the material. We need to blend them real good. For that purpose, we use a diaphragm pump. This is a 3-inch diaphragm pump right here. And we have our big 2-inch hoses with our stinger that goes inside the tank. I'll show you that when we actually get going. One hose over there will come from the bottom of the tote to the bottom of the pump, the intake. It's gonna, once we fire up the pump will pump the material through the top, and we'll pump it in through the stinger into the top of the tote, mixing it up. Each tote has a lid and it has a shipping seal. All totes have a shipping seal, all totes have the MSD, all totes have the shipping papers. So seeing as how we're just about ready, we have a compressor over here. This is a 185, I believe it's CFN compressor to operate the pump itself. So as you can tell, now I've got my pump hooked up, and now we're going to bring the camera down around this side and get some good ground shots of the pump itself. One hose is going to go from the top of the pump into the stinger. You'll notice that I have the stinger tip cut on an angle so it doesn't suck completely flat against the bottom of the tote. And I'll insert it on the inside, like so. And I'll leave it in there. Now I'm going to hook up my suction hose. Some of these totes, the connections of the totes, some of them come with built-on cam locks, and some don't have a built-in cam lock. If you don't have a built-in cam lock, then we have these adapters that we use. We'll send them with the tote if need be, but we have 2 different adapters for 2 different styles. But like this particular tote has a built-in cam lock for it already, so we do not need an adapter. So we'll set these aside and we'll put the hose onto it. Sometimes you gotta finagle it a little bit, just like that. That one's on the bottom of the tote. Now we're gonna hook the hose, the other end, to the bottom of the pump. Now we'll open up the bottom of the tote. This 3-inch diaphragm pump has enough suction, enough volume. It should pick the material right up, take it right out, once I get my compressor started up. So I'm going to go start my compressor up. I have my air valve closed. There, she's opened up, pressurized up. Now let's go over. I like to keep my pump close enough where I can keep one hand on the stinger and one hand on the air valve. If we have a second person, put one person on the stinger and one person on the air valve, just to avoid any accident. About half, right there. That's good. That's perfect. I'll continue this at this rate for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Just kind of working around the corners, around the sides, everywhere else. Once I think it's liquefied enough, then I can go ahead, shut her down, and then I'll start transferring the material into the squeezer. And that's about it. And then you just want to work it from side to side, from corner to corner. You kind of want to start in the middle of the tote. Try to break the middle of the tote loose first. It's right where the material is sucking out of. So that way it clears the channel for the material to go out. More than likely, it'll pick it right up once we start. And then you can just work it from side to side all around the corners. Sometimes you may want to let it sit for a little bit just let it circulate wherever it's at, and just work it around. You get about a good 15, 25 minutes, you should be good. We're done. Now we're going to finish up the close off. We're going to close the valve off here. We're going to hold the wall on the inside, and then we're going to activate the pump. That'll start the pump. It'll suck the hose clean, dump it back into the pump. So with that said, you can have someone open it up a little bit for you. Right now she's sucking out the hose. The valve is closed, so it's sucking out the hose. And then we would slowly break the ears loose, the cam lock loose. Then we'll start sucking in air. You can hear it sucking the air real good. Once we feel we've got the air in good, coming up, we've got everything in, then we'll close the air supply off.
Good.
Close that one off, right? And that's it. Once you're done with the pump, always remember to wash out the pump. You gotta wash that pump out with water, because if you don't wash that pump out with water and the material dries up in the pump, you're gonna have some problems, and you don't want those kind of problems.